the H to the N-I to the, you already see what time it is. It's the H to the N-I to the, see my niggas dying to live. Hey yo, welcome to another hot episode of the HNIC Castle under the Masterclass Network. Today it's gonna be fire, it's gonna be amazing. I promise you, man, because we have none other than the authority himself.
Moral authority. I changed the name.
Oh, you added moral.
Yeah.
Moral authority.
Yeah.
Mr. Ntlamulo Baloyi.
Yes. Thank you.
So the spokesperson for MK is Ntlamulo. So the Ntlamulos are here.
His son is also Ntlamulo.
Yeah.
Junior.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
No, thank you. Thank you for finally having me, man. I've been
a lot of people have been looking forward to this. They thought sparks will fly when me and you are in the same room.
No, not really. Nah, not really.
Yeah,
Hip-hop is like this.
How you
Remember,
been?
there was Horror Cafe around the corner.
Yes.
Remember, there was this other short guy who used to drink Savannah the whole time. And then whenever someone would come on stage, he'd give them like half a song. And then he'd come up to the stage and be like, "You suck, man!" You know?
Yeah.
So, how old was I? Horror Cafe days. That was 2003. I was 13.
Yeah.
So Specs would sneak me in. Well, he wouldn't sneak me in. He just let me in. You know what I mean? Because I was underage to be in Horror Cafe. And that was the hip-hop that I grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where
you could be on stage, someone come up to you in the crowd and be like, "Nigga, you suck. You're whack."
Back to the City was like that when it started.
Yeah, I remember that.
They would give you a minute.
I remember that.
Before they approve or boo you.
I remember Back to the City. I remember fighting to get on stage at Back to the City. I remember knowing that, damn, bottles could fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're DJing, right?
Yeah.
You bear the brunt. If you skip, your CD's got to skip or whatever, in the CDJs, you know that those bottles fly. You know? So,
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy that man.
Yeah. I mean, if you had beef at Back to the City, you knew that at any moment in time, like, yo, we could bump into these guys and it might be a fight. So you needed to come squad deep.
Yeah, it was hardcore.
You know what I mean?
Under the bridge, you see there, under the bridge.
You know what I mean? So even we did an ode to Back to the City, although like the guys woke up too early for me to make it to the video shoot.
Yeah.
Shot the Stomp video at the right in front of the red building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As an ode to Back to the City. So that whole video was shot right there. So yeah, I mean that's the hip hop that we come from. So nowadays these niggas are soft. They don't know where we come from. You know what I mean? So, you know, when I approach them, they're like, "Nah, you're too hard." I'm like, "Bro, do you know which school I grew up in?"
Yeah.
And imagine I was a little kid back then, and I knew that, yo, it's rough out here. So now everything's PC. Everybody's got a mental health problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say something to them, they can't switch off their phone. They need to go see a therapist because someone tweeted something they don't like.
You know what I mean? I was with Specs the other day on the show.
Yeah, that's my big bro.
Yeah, he told me your relation. And he told me, I reminded him that the first time I went to an album launch was his album at Horror Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know him now, like the kids. Yeah. But after watching that, they're going to know him, you know, because we had a lengthy conversation.
Yeah.
You know.
His son lives with me now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I took him in.
Ah, dope.
Yeah. His mom is my dad's big sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other day...
in Shitsong, your dad's sister is called Aan. So yeah, Edith records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his dad was like a top marketing guru at Distillers.
Yeah.
Which is now Distill, which has now been sold to HNIC. You know, so like he used to promote all those brands. Even my dad used to work with him when they used to, you know, organize liquor licenses and trading licenses in the 80s.
Nota, bring me a sponsor. Look how empty this table is.
Speak to Specs. He's the one.
Yeah.
That's where his dad worked. So they used to throw parties back in the day. His dad, my dad,
Yeah.
like as brothers-in-law. And one day at 11 at night, while they were throwing a party on the 15th of July, 1984, my dad got a call to say, "Yo, your wife is going into labor." And that was the end of my dad's partying days. And then my sister was born the next morning.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's
so,
dope.
that's what they used to do. He used to promote a brand called Richelieu.
It's a brandy, right? Or whiskey.
It's a brandy.
Brandy,
the
yeah.
age-old French tradition.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he worked on the marketing campaign that was similar to the De Beers campaign, Diamonds Are Forever, to make Richelieu the Mvula Mlomo drink for Lobola negotiations.
Okay.
Yeah, so that guy's a marketing genius.
Did you do that, the Vulamlomo, when you were paying
Yeah, I
your
did
lobo?
everything. Yeah, I did everything. Did everything.
Okay.
And Specs' mom was there. She was part of our family's representatives. In fact, she was leading the delegation. She was the one leading the delegation. Yeah.
All right. Let's take it back. I remember the other time I came to Buttabing offices and you were working there.
Yeah. I was putting them on game.
You were so quiet. You were there with your laptop in your little corner. You know, you were not this Nota.
I was just running the world with my laptop.
Yeah,
I was running everything, like from a social media perspective.
I know the social media stuff.
Yeah, but
but
that
like
was everything.
you were not vocal out there.
I
like,
was very vocal. I used to fight all the time in the office. It's just that when there's guests, obviously I'm not going to be loud.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to embarrass the bosses. But I used to fight all the time with this white lady there, Kim Sears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I told her what I'm doing on social media is going to have her fired one day. And she didn't believe me.
Okay, because every time I saw you or I met you, you were not here. The first time you spoke for like an hour is when we met at the airport in Durban, King Shaka. Remember when we were sitting at the restaurant?
Yeah, which one? Tell me. I went to Durban many times. Remind me.
No, when we were chilling together.
With who?
You were with Kwesta. You guys were flying to Cape Town. I was flying to Durban.
Oh.
We chilled there. Like
Yeah.
You see that whole time until it was time to take a flight.
Yeah.
It was you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I've always been. That's who I've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then this other time, recently when I posted a picture of us together, and people were like, "Hey, you guys didn't fight. You guys." No,
man.
it's not like that.
Abo Mafigizolo, they just come to this hip hop thing yesterday and they don't understand that, it's a contested space, number one. It's a battle of ideas.
Yeah.
And plus it's a place where we don't nurse each other's feelings. We're authentic and we're honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people also get you wrong. They're like, yo, who is Rashid to say all these things? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't know the role your entire family has played in South African hip hop.
Yeah.
Like in every single facet of it, whether it be from the media side of things, whether it be radio, television,
Yeah.
all of that stuff, yeah, you were once a squatter camp in-law. You know what I mean?
I used to roll with the squatter.
Yeah, exactly.
I was telling Sipos Tole that me and Rilo used to go to the same Islamic classes. So the other day,
East Rand people.
Yeah, because she's from my hood. So the other day,
her dad owned garages in the hood.
And her dad is an imam.
Yes. Oh yes. They are Islamic. Even her husband converted.
Yes.
When he married her.
So I remember this other day we took a taxi to Slicker's house. There
in
Leondale.
Yeah.
She sang, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
So these things are interlinked. You know somebody who know like me and you and Specs, and there's always a connection.
Yeah.
You know, so
Exactly.
speaking of that when we meet we never fight. What sparked the Stogie T confrontation?
Nah, Stogie, you know Stogie from back in the day.
Yes, I do.
Stogie is a cheese boy. His mom is an MK, like the ANC MK.
Yeah.
He came back from exile, you know, and he's always had diplomatic passports, you know, which allowed him to travel and be amongst the privileged kids. So I always saw him as like this cheese boy who thinks that, you know, he's above the rest of the hip hop scene. And he was like that. I mean, he was a poet when he first came in. You know what I mean? And
which he denied when I said it, and that's what sparked the whole
you know what
beef.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why would he do that? And then he got angry one day, and he forgets that, you know, I was teaching him stuff. You know, when there was the xenophobic attacks in 2008, and then Slicker and Lee Kasumba decided to get MTN to sponsor like a little concert, and there was a song that was done. I was there. I was actually even on the song. I rapped on the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wrote the chorus for the song. You know, I was feeding the producer, DJ Cleo, salads the whole entire time. I kept fetching him salads, you know, without him even asking. Every time his lips looked dry,
Yeah.
I was there with a bowl of salad, you know?
Yeah.
So I was educating him about the inequality. You know, I taught him what a Gini coefficient is.
Yeah.
The HDI index. I was still 18 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was telling him that, you know, this whole entire xenophobic attacks thing is like sparked by, you know, the people feeling frustrated that, you know, the freedom that their ancestors fought for and sacrificed their lives for is being taken advantage of by people, you know, from outside of these borders. And that it's justifiable, their anger as well, you know, because we don't have refugee camps in South Africa. We have places where, you know, black people always lived in the townships, and the immigrants are forced to integrate with our society. Meanwhile, you know, we haven't got our slice of the Rainbow Nation cake yet.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's unfair. You know, if in the white suburbs where the privilege is, in the upper echelons on the golf courses, if they put refugee camps there, it would be no problem. But, you know, we're still fighting for what's ours.
Yeah.
To have services delivered by the state, and, you know, we're not getting it. Before those whole attacks, there was the Tutsumani. You know Tutsumani?
Tutsumani village.
Tutsumani village was first
in Alex.
Was an All Africa Games athletes village. That's why it was built so quickly.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
That's where the athletes were staying during the All
and
Africa
that was
Games.
fast. It was like quick.
Yeah, because the All Africa Games were coming.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
why can't they do
that?
that like with the housing?
You know, they went there so many times and promised, you know, we need another All Africa Games or maybe an Olympic Games for them to do something about it. So as soon as it was time for South Africans to occupy it, corruption started coming into the place. Certain people who already had built houses or had houses elsewhere in Alex were selling their properties and everything else, and that's what led to an influx of immigrants into Alex, in that Tutsumani village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not a person that is just a casual observer of things. I don't see things from the news. I actually travel around the country. I actually am tapped into whatever is happening in whatever community. I mean, even before I came here, there's McDonald's downstairs.
Yeah.
I did not go to McDonald's. I supported my brothers that sell meat.
I was gonna ask you about that, because you said Stogie is a cheese boy, and I know for a fact that you're a cheese boy too.
I'm not a cheese boy.
I know you are.
No,
what makes you?
You say I'm a cheese
Okay.
boy. I'm not a cheese boy.
Okay. Besides the fact,
listen, so
let's go to my question.
No, hold on. I just want to explain it to you.
Yeah.
The thing is that people say cheese boy just because my parents were able to get a loan.
That's what
to buy
makes you a
property.
cheese.
It doesn't.
Like you grew up in the north. You
yeah,
know?
I did. But
Yes.
I was the poorest one there. That's why I'm the hardest working one there. Because I knew that at any point in time, we could be back in the hood.
Bro,
let me tell you, the house
let me tell you.
Hold on. The first house that I called home
yeah,
was Specs' parents' house.
Okay.
On Funduzi Street.
I understand that. I understand where you're coming from.
A 3-room house.
You like a millionaire in rands saying I'm broke when he's with the dollar millionaires. That we still look at you as a cheese boy.
You look at me as a cheese boy, but I'm not.
You comparing yourself with the northerners.
But I have to. That's my environment.
But I'm from the hood.
You're from Leondale. Come on.
Yes.
You're a cheese boy. You're from Leondale.
I'm saying I'm not a cheese boy, but I was well raised
in Leondale.
Like I was.
That's a cheese boy. That makes you a cheese boy.
Okay, you're distracting me, Nota. I was going to the question. Like I'm saying, as a well-off person from the north.
Better off. Let's not say well off.
Better off.
Yeah, because we're over indebted.
Okay, cool. I'm saying, what makes you different from Stogie T? Because I know that you went to the hood. You even stayed in Katlehong at some point.
As an adult.
As an adult.
Yes, I lived in Katlehong as an adult.
Yes, I know, and it was from choice. It was not from hard times.
It was from hard times.
No, Nota.
Okay. Why do you say it was from choice? I had no choice. There was no way I could make it from 4 ways to Katlehong to do the work that I needed to do. I didn't have enough money to do.
Yeah,
to
but
make that
what I'm saying is, it's not like you were homeless or you were kicked out.
Yes, no, that's fine. But I needed to do that. I couldn't afford a place to rent.
Yes,
I couldn't afford to rent myself a place in Katlehong.
Great. But I'm saying
I was sleeping on a couch.
But I'm saying
waking up at 4:30 in the morning, folding up the blankets so that when everybody else wakes up.
Yes, but I'm saying
it looks like I wasn't there.
Like other cheese boys in your position, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't leave the comfort zone and go. That's
like
what I'm saying.
Stogie T wouldn't do that.
No names mentioned.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the difference.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Yes, exactly. Or whoever else. But I wanted to find out what made you do that. Like to say, okay, since you say others can't, what made you do it?
Because I didn't see myself as better. I didn't see it as anything wrong. There was work to be done. The best place to do it was in the hood. You know, the best place to integrate. I realized that, okay, damn, there's actually a viable market here.
Yeah.
There's all these Chisanyamas, all these cash in transit heist kings are opening up businesses to legitimize their money. They're opening venues all over the East Rand, all over Katlehong. You know, it's got more venues than Soweto. So this is easy money. It's quick money. Even if we're making 1K, 2K per gig, whatever, you know, we're here. Our costs are very minimal and we're building up a fan base and we're going to grow it from here. You know, the studio is here. Everything is here.
Okay, cool. Let's rewind. I want us to talk about the music and the industry. Let's rewind. When you and Kwesta left Buttabing, you didn't leave at the same time. Was that a plan to say I'm gonna leave and then are you gonna follow? How did it happen?
No, I left.
Yes.
And then I told him like, yo, it's either you leave or you're gonna suffer with this sinking ship. You know what I mean? I think I was on my 3rd warning, so I served my notice before we did the Boom Shakalaka video. So I knew that after we hand in the video, I'm done. So that was it. And then I spoke to his wife, which was his baby mama at the time.
Yeah.
I told him that, yo, if you want someone that's gonna feed your kid, you're gonna tell this nigga to go tell Buttabing that it's over. Otherwise, both of you are gonna suffer, and you're gonna end up living in the back of his mother's house forever. And you're going to end up being a cheese girl from Durban that ended up with a hood nigga that fell off.
Okay, how long did it take for him to follow you? How long did he stay after
that conversation? After I spoke to his baby mama.
That conversation happened after how long?
I mean, I left there in October. So I think a couple. Well, he didn't have the conversation with Buttabing yet.
Yeah,
because he was avoiding it. You know, like he's a He's a very weird guy because, you know, he struggles to be honest. He's got this compulsive lying thing. So
Come on now.
No, I mean, if you know a guy, you know a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were working already, but then it took him time before. Now we wanted to go on tour and we're going to advertise it. So now he hadn't told the guys. Well, he didn't tell us that he hadn't told the guys that, yo, he's out as well.
Yeah.
You know, and then
That's difficult. It's like finding a new chick while you're still having a new chick. You don't know how to tell this one that, yo, I'm done.
That makes you a liar. It's not difficult. It just makes you a liar. You'd rather lie than tell the truth.
Probably some people don't have the balls. They don't mean
that
to
makes
lie.
you a coward. If
Yeah,
you
a
lie,
coward, yeah.
if you lie because you're a coward, you know, it's still the same thing. It's still a character flaw.
Okay,
But
cool.
you know,
Yeah.
so you know, you see such character flaws and you know how to manage it. You know how to manage yourself around such character flaws. So yeah, push came to shove, you know, everything had to switch up, and then we had that meeting before we went on the road, maybe like in November. I think the last, like around the 27th or 28th of November. Like we had the conversation when it was time for us to pick up the car, the rental car, that the H1 that I had to pay for out of my ass. Took me 5 years to pay it off. That debt.
She's boy, like I said.
No, my parents didn't pay for it. Yeah,
okay.
I paid for it for 7 other niggas
All right.
myself. So that was the day before we went on the road. We had a gig in Durban, and then we had to come back for some Reds thing. So I think the Reds thing was on the 30th of November or some shit like that.
When he left Buttabing, how was the contract situation?
Well, I mean, it was still a contentious thing because I needed to get a termination letter out of them, right? Because they didn't have like a recording contract. So we had a publishing agreement.
Oh, okay.
You know, which was still enforced for a number of years. So like a lot of his publishing was still under Buttabing until very recently. But basically I had the publishing agreement terminated for anything that comes after 3 years. So I think now all his publishing is back with him. Yeah, actually all his publishing should be back with him because I sorted that out with Shia for him on his behalf. And then once I got the termination letter from Smacks, I signed a licensing deal at Sony with my company.
Okay.
And then that's when we started releasing Dakar.
That's how you ended up owning the masters.
It's not how I ended up owning the masters. It's my company. It's
it's your company,
it.
obviously.
It's not about ending it up. I produced the music.
Uh-huh.
You know, I worked it out. I negotiated the deal. And I also made sure that it's successful. I mean, you could have those masters and not have the sales and records. You know what I mean? And then what are they? Worthless. You know what I mean?
Okay. So when is Boom Shakalaka? Is it before or after?
It was both.
In the process
It was
of
before
moving
and
from
after.
one
So we'd already shot the video and released it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom Shakalaka even as a tag. Buttabing Entertainment. It's got Nemza's voice on it.
Yeah. So they didn't fight for it or claim it after you guys have left.
No, it was part of the termination agreement.
Oh, okay.
I told you that we got a termination agreement and that we were going to release the song on an album. But I mean, as far as that song itself, I mean, it didn't really make sales as a song or as a single. It was part of an album that I think sold maybe less than 6,000 copies.
Okay, speaking of Boom Shakalaka, there's been a word on the street that that's where Kwesta got his style from.
Well, yeah, obviously. I directed that song. I wrote the chorus, you know, and I made him rap it like that, like he's speaking, in his speaking tone.
So did he get that style from you or from Kid X?
From me. We added Kid X later.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was the perfect fit for the song as well, because he had a similar style.
Oh, okay. Not that he got the style was already there. Not that he got it from Kid X. I just want some clarity.
When Kid X had heard the song, it already had its 2 verses and the chorus on.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't rap it knowing that Kid X is going to be on the song. We added Kid X later. Well, I added Kid X later. Called Cash Time to the studio, said, yo, you need to put X on this song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that happened with Karakara, with KO getting the style from Kirex?
KO got his whole style from what we were doing in Katlehong. That everything that we were doing, because I mean, after we did Boom Shakalaka,
Yeah.
we went to K1. We recorded a whole entire mixtape, and that was supposed to be the THT mixtape for that tour that we're doing around the country, which I paid a nominal leg for the car hire for the H1. So that whole entire mixtape and all that music that was produced, that was where that style came from. You know, the songs like Tulu Chive and all that type of stuff. So we were already going into the Kwaito type sound. There's a trend by Big Bear called Trendsetters, which is also there. You know, it's just unfortunate that we lost that music when the guy that actually owned the studio equipment passed away, and his family took all that studio equipment, and they said that, you know, we killed their son with this music of ours that we're making. So, you know, that's the unfortunate part, that we can't revive that music.
Blood sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what we're already working on. And then when the guys at Cash Time heard what we're working on, they were like, damn it, these guys are outside of our watch, and they're doing this and they're doing this with these other niggas. No ways. Let's hop on to that. So, I mean, we were able to get them back because we took God's Will and we made Nomayini out of it. Yeah.
That was a big song.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was taken from God's Will, because we sent VG that song, and then so that he could release it. And they were like, nah, we can't have a song that's got Kwesta on it being released under the Cash Time machinery. And we're like, damn it, you know. Our machinery has been helping you have Kid X as a prospect. No one would have seen him as a solo. I mean, Boom Shakalaka did for Kid X what We Rolling did for KO. They wouldn't have solo careers without either of those songs.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I remember El Tito saying he gave KO his solo career.
he did. That's, you know, it's an undeniable fact. Same thing as Boom Shakalaka gave Kid X his solo career, because in the Cash Time outfit, he didn't really stand out as a soloist. You didn't think that this one could be the soloist and then would end up being the most successful out of the whole entire, you know, trio as a solo artist. Outside of that, I mean, AB went crazy. You know, he sings, he produces, you know, he's part of the octave couplet or couplet, whatever you call it. You know what I mean? So he was a multi-dimensional artist, and then he, in the Cash Time fam fold, had to like suppress who he could be, his potential. You've got Zinger Smashes, who was like the teacher's pet, because, you know, he thought if he just hangs under KO's armpit the whole time, he'll give him a solo career. And then that didn't materialize.
That's my boy. Come on.
I mean, come on. You know, I know him.
Yeah,
no,
well. Speak your truth.
Yeah,
speak your truth.
It's the truth. It's the truth. That's what he was doing. You know what I mean? And then he got sidelined by the same KO who's, you know, as he was kissing the whole time. And then Kid X just had something that, you know, South Africans gravitated towards. And plus, I mean, he's like undoubtedly the best rapper to ever come out of this country. Like bar for bar, flows, just linguistically, the amount of languages he juggles around, you know what I mean? Like, undoubtedly.
He's crazy with it. He's
he's undoubtedly the
I reached out to him a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know.
He's busy on daddy duty, you know, he's got 2 now.
Got 2.
Yeah.
It's about time.
He's got a son.
It's about time.
He's been having kids, man. His daughter is how old now? She's probably like what? She was born in, was it 2021 or 2020, February the 10th, either 2021 or 2020. So his daughter could be 3, but she's talkative. Oh, I love her. Or 2020. And then his son, who I met for the first time when I came back from, the first thing I did when I came back from the States, I went to go see his son, to meet him for the first time. I got to hold him as well. So he'll be turning 1 very soon.
All right, that's dope. That's dope. Shout out to Kid X. And then when did the transition from Cash Time Life to RapLyf happen for him, and how?
Yeah, I mean, already me and him were already recording. So like as soon as I was done, even while we're still working on Dakar 2, I was working with Kid X in Sun City, the prison.
Yeah. I know the situation, the family situation.
Yeah. His dad is retired now. But yeah, we were in Sun City and we were working on songs. Like we made Ipati, we made a whole lot of other songs. We're working on the mixtape. You know, even when he moved to what is it? Is it Waterford?
So you see where bars come from, because he used to stay at Boksburg prison as well.
I know. All
Sun
of them,
City,
even Kroonstad.
Lokop, yeah.
Yeah. He stayed at all the prisons that his dad worked at. He's been behind bars.
Yeah.
So we were working, and basically after 3/4 pace, that's when, like, the whole entire saga, 3/4 pace was supposed to be an album.
Quarter pace was amazing.
They didn't
Quarter
want-
pace. Madlana Yogqin.
KO didn't want it as an album.
That was amazing project.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he stifled it and made Hip Hop Scholar be the bad guy, the bearer of bad news. You know, he did everything he could to sabotage it because, you know, he wanted to get his album ahead of that. You know, and yeah, so we went to PH Studio and then we finished it off one day, just in time for both their birthdays, because they share a birthday, Kid X and KO, on the 13th of October. And we uploaded it on Data File Host, and then once it was out, and then we went to the Cash Time House in Boskren to Bry and found them playing it, you know.
Yeah.
And it was too little too late. They couldn't do anything to stop it. So they had to pretend as if they supported it, you know what I mean? And already from that time, he was already like figuring his way out of the door. And yeah.
And
it eventually happened. I mean, like the whole entire RapLyf thing, that was like that was Leroy's idea, because he wanted to disassociate from the Urbantainment brand, which is my record company as well, and establish something new. And then
when does Leroy come into the picture?
Yeah, he came in because they grew up together with Senzo, so he brought him in. You know, he was already doing DJ's production, like a booking website, whatever. He'd been working at Toyota as well as a junior brand manager or a brand whatever specialist. You know, he's a top student from AAA.
Yeah,
like he graduated with colors, with honors at AAA, School of Advertising. Yeah, and he even got a bursary to go there. So, you know, he's a hood intellectual. So he wanted to, you know, put his flag in the ground. And so for me, I'd already established what I was doing with Sony, you know, so I was like, do whatever, you know. They wanted to bring in TLT as well, you know, which I said, yo, whatever happens with TLT, they're your babies. You know, me, I've got one project and one project only, and it's to make that a success.
I thought they were your babies. The way you were pushing that Mbube, you were forefront man.
Well, even before then, I mean, I gave them the sound. You know what I mean? I said, this is your sound. This is what you guys do, because their sound was already too similar to whatever was going on at the time, you know? So I was like, yo, between Leroy
When last did you check on them, TLT?
I mean, they're grown men. They're older than me.
Yeah, but like...
They're not my kids. You know what I mean? When last did they check on me? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you must.
No.
Something bad happened to one of them. You need to check on them.
Hey, man, nah. I've got other problems. I got my own family, dog, to take care of. Like, that's the thing, is that y'all niggas think that, you know, it's easy to be me. Imagine that I made all these sacrifices to look after these niggas. These niggas never check on me, call me, find out what's happening with me or anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, I used to sacrifice what I eat to make sure that they can eat. With no obligation to, they're not my kids. You know what I mean? They're older than me, like I said.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, if they called me, you know, then they would know. Then they'd let me know. So yeah, so they tried to put them on. They were, like I said, they're Senzo and Leroy's problem. Like, you guys deal with them. Whatever happens with them, you deal with them. You know what I mean? I'll get to them, with whatever I'm doing. If they can fit into the plans, I'll help them out wherever I can. But look, I'm not obliged to. And I wasn't obliged to, and I helped them.
So your babies was Kid X and Kwesta?
Well, I wouldn't even say Kid X because he was his own baby. You know what I mean? So
no, I'm saying how he joined you
yeah,
guys
well,
label.
yeah, me and him were working together. I was helping him, like the same way I produced the music. I was producing the music for him too. So I was producing his album. You know what I mean? And yeah, so you know, he already sorted out his own deal at Sony. You know, and that wasn't with my label or anything else. And yeah, that's what I advised him to do. I was like, yo, make sure you sort out your own thing. Do not get wrapped up in whatever these guys are trying to plan some conglomerate. Because, like, I know these niggas. These niggas, they'll say one thing and then another thing will happen. And then they'll be like, oh, damn it. I thought you knew.
Okay. When did Makwa come into the picture?
Yeah, he came in with TLT. He was part of TLT when he came about.
It was part of TLT?
Yeah. So when he came about, he was making beats for TLT. So he made King's Speech.
Okay, yeah. I remember King's Speech.
Yeah, but he traced it from DJ Khaled and J. Cole. I forgot what the name of the song was. But he remade that beat, and I was like, yo, I hear what you're doing. Clean. This is a King's Speech. It's like a viral song that we're releasing. It's not going to be an album, but you need to make original beats. Like, I don't want you tracing. And then, yeah.
Speaking of that, who produced Ngutu? Was it Maporisa? Was it Makwa?
No, so I produced Ngutu.
You produced Ngutu?
Yeah, I didn't make the beat. I produced it.
Yeah,
and I arranged it.
I know what that means, yeah.
Maporisa made that beat.
Maporisa made that beat.
Yeah, Makwa was not even there when it was made. When the song was made, he wasn't even there. Why is that so hard? Because he pours liquor on himself in the video. That was it. Because he's in the video. That's it. That's why people had that association. Makwa made My Babo.
Okay, I know that. But why do Ngutu and Spirit sound?
Because he copied it. He took what we already produced and then he made it again. Exactly. He traced. The same way he traced when I found him, he traced again.
Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense.
That's it.
Okay, because
same thing, same drum pattern. You know, we had just come back from a trip. Took him to Senegal. Took him on his first international trip. Took him to Senegal. Left him there with Thandiso Mazwai. We went to studio with her as well. When we left Senegal, she still stuck around for a couple of days, and then he got to take that in. Got to engage with some really accomplished musicians who've traveled the world and got to be introduced to a new culture without the niggas that he knows from the hood, because obviously King Ta is a legend, you know what I mean? Even on that plane, she came out of business class. We were sitting in economy. So she came out of business class with a packet full of chocolates. And was handing them to everybody in economy class as she walked down the plane. You know what I mean? And then she went back to business class. So, you know, she's a character, you know. Yeah.
And then RapLyf, the collapse of RapLyf. When was the beginning of the ending?
No, I wouldn't say it was a collapse.
What was
RapLyf was a mirage.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mirage. It was like what was being presented there, but it wasn't really the business. It had nothing to do with the business. There was two businesses. There's BNS Projects, my company. There's Renovate Concepts, Leroy's company. And then Renovate Concepts did all the bookings, the management, etc., etc.
What was the fallout?
BNS, there was no fallout. It had run its course. You know what I mean? as far as BNS projects, our licensing deal with Sony was almost up. We owed them like maybe 2 songs or something as part of the deal. Cool. Pandemic came, so there's no bookings, so there's no booking income, right? And then that was it. And, you know, I'd already done my bit. I was not going to be part of Renovate Concepts or whatever. I already started working at Sony, you know, the year prior to that, in June 2019. So by March 2020, when the pandemic had hit, you know, I already had other priorities I needed to focus on as well. So, I mean, that was it. And yeah, then, I mean, everything still continued. Renovate Concept still continued. You know what I mean? I think TLT worked there for a little while. They brought in Big Zulu, you know. Then they started Ngabi Records. And then, yeah, everything that we'd worked for, all the infrastructure was there. And then Big Zulu slotted into the gap that had left. I guess you could say Kwesta left, because he went on to do his own thing as well, you know. And when we parted ways as far as his obligations to our recording agreement, he went and did his own thing on his own. You know what I mean? X was already on his own. You know what I mean? So he continued to do his thing on his own. And that was it. So that phase was over. And I mean, like, just think of it like this. Like, you know, I'd always said that when the guys came up with this whole entire RapLyf idea, I said, yo, like, rap has just only started making waves in SA. You guys think that rap is going to be hot forever. You know, already before that happened, Gqom had already started falling off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this whole entire thing of, yo, we want to be rap, or RapLyf, rap. When rap falls off, you'll fall with it, because you won't be cool. It won't be cool to be RapLyf anymore after it falls off. You know? And then Ebro named his playlist after it as well. RapLyf playlist.
RapLyf.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like, I took him on a tour around the hood, Ebro, when he came to SA as well. Introduced him to the guys as well. He showed me around New York when I was there. So it was a little bit of a culture exchange.
So the letter you wrote to 5FM,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people thought or still think it was Kwesta because it was on his page and you were running that. I know it was you.
Yeah, everyone knew it was me.
Yeah.
Sizwe Dlomo was the one who exposed me.
Yeah. so and it worked. How did that come about? Because when I saw it, I was thinking, yo, niggas are gonna be blackballed, but it didn't turn out like that. It worked. Tell me about that letter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd already been speaking to the guys at SABC.
Yeah.
And obviously 5FM and Metro FM share the same floor, the 8th floor.
Yeah.
In the radio building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anytime I'd come to Nati, I'd always be like, damn it, why can't we ever have meetings on that side? You know, because they're a youth station, and that's where all the advertising, all the brands. If you're played on that station, the brands are going to come for you. You're going to get the brand cake. You know, so I'd already been speaking to all the other guys internally at SABC about our 5FM problem.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not supporting us and how that's eating into our money. You know what I mean? And I was talking to Nati, like, you know, Metro FM is not a youth station. We're making youth music. We should be played on 5FM.
Yeah.
But we're not played because we're black. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, you got to take it up with them. He didn't know how far it'd go. And yeah, that's why it worked. And because I'd already spoken to the other black guys that run all the other black stations at SABC, when the whole entire controversy stood up, everybody else is like, you know what, actually it's true. We've been meaning to say this. You white guys at 5FM, you think that you guys are better than us, and you're putting an unnecessary burden on us to play this new, young, emerging music, because that's not part of our mandate, you know. Lesedi FM is not mandated to play new, young, emerging music.
Yeah.
And the Lesedi FM shouldn't have a mixed show for house music, because house is now emerging, or for hip hop because hip hop is now emerging. All that stuff should be on the youth station within the SABC, and they can't now say no, it's not commercially viable, because what you're saying is that black and youth culture is not commercially viable. If it was so, then YFM would have ceased to exist.
Shout out to you for that, because they started playing a lot of South African hip hop after that whole situation.
Yeah.
You know, and it opened doors for other artists as well.
I know, that's what we did it for. That's what we did it for. In fact, we did it for Doc Shebeleza, for Casper Nyovest, because he wasn't getting played, you know, and for Tear Gas as well. Well, for Cash Time. That's what we did it for. And also at the same time, we had a collaboration with Crash Car Burn, which they had to play because it's rock.
Yeah.
And it's a black and white collab. So
And they ended up having a hip hop show with Miss Cosmo.
obviously.
You
know what I mean? They ended up bringing in Abo Waras, Abo Tanda Chobete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of those people got jobs because of that open letter. So, you know.
No, shout out.
5FM was revolutionized. It was changed. And then because of the success of that, Saudi said, hey, you know what? This 90% thing, let's just do it once. It seems like the artist community will support us. And it happened. And then the artist community supported him. And then because of that 90%, people started falling in love with South African music and started being more patriotic. And that genie could not be put back into the bottle. Once you gave people a taste of local music and they started falling in love with it, you know, they started identifying with it. And that changed the course of history, especially for the South African music industry. We wouldn't have the success of Amapiano today the way it is if South Africans weren't so proud of their music that they celebrated, you know. And I'm glad that the little that I could do set off a domino effect that could benefit the rest of the industry, you know. And this is just like a testament to the same values that I had when I decided to move to the hood, you know. Even if Nkulele's Chizin, you know, I wouldn't be eating the Melrose on my own.
No, that's what's up. That's activism. So you know what I did? I posted on Facebook that I'm going to be talking to Nota and please send me some questions. So we're going to take a few questions.
Yeah, I haven't been on Facebook in a while.
Yeah, question 1. Someone says, will you ever work with Kwesta again?
No.
Go deep.
No.
Go deep.
No, like I already told you, dog.
Yeah.
I already told you. Like what we did is enough. You know what I mean? If there's a project that he's working on, I won't stop it or anything else. Or if there's something that I'm working on and he's involved, you know, it's something I'm working on. You know, in fact, there's something I'm working on right now and he's involved. There's a new movie that he's starring in.
I saw that, the Piano Love.
Yeah, so like, I mean, even the director of that movie, he wanted to cast him in TV series before, and I said, there's no way you're gonna kill this guy's career if you put him on TV. If ever you want to work with him and do something, it has to be a movie script. So you know, the people that I know, that I call friends, they stick to their word. So he doesn't stick to his word, unfortunately. So like, there's no way I can work with.
So the answer is no.
Never.
Okay, cool. Another question is, have you met Stogie since the fight?
Was it a fight?
Whatever it was, that physical confrontation.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
Yeah, he's been ducking and diving, I guess.
What's going to happen when you meet him?
Ngizomphinda or he's gonna apologize.
Come on.
whatever needs to happen, like angimsabi. Like, you know what I mean? I gave him my address. He says, yo, let's meet. I sent him the location. He didn't come. He wasted my time. Then I saw him and I pulled up to him. I said, yeah, you want to talk? You want to say something? And he wanted to, you know, get physical. And unfortunately, he doesn't have the fitness to mess with the quickness. So, you know.
Okay.
He's not athletic enough, you know what I mean? You gotta be fight ready, dog. You know, Abo Stogie, my cheese boy, like the real cheese boys. Tina, we know how it is to be in the streets and to have to fight our way up, dog. You know what I mean? So you gotta have fight practice. You know what I mean? You gotta have like battle scars. I don't think Stogie's got a little brother that's 2 years younger than him. I have a little brother that's 2 years younger than me. So we used to fight all the time and test each other's muscle. And you should see how swole my little brother is. My little brother is swole right now.
Yeah.
And that's because I
Crazy.
I taught him as a kid.
Okay, another question. Someone says, out of all the things you said to people,
yeah,
would you ever apologize without being ordered by the court?
I would never apologize. There's nothing I've said that's dishonest. Why must I apologize?
So if the the court says apologize.
Let me tell you,
you
why.
don't mean
Let
it.
me tell you why I apologized.
Yeah.
The last time, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I apologized is because what's this guy? The owner of Amazulu, Sandile Zungu. You know, he sent Fluxman's attorneys to send a letter to me, right? And my parents got intelligence that these guys were trying to have me killed. So they even sent the Metro cops to put me in a holding cell on the day of AKA's funeral. You know, KO's brother called me trying to track me down before the first arrest was made in the AKA murder investigation. You know, so he found my location. Youngster CPT's manager told me that, yo, these guys are looking for you. They're down to Cape Town while I was there in hiding. I had to leave the country, go to the States to be safe, out of their reach, you know, involuntarily.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I was at the club, and what's this guy? Rich Mahog came up to me.
Yeah, I see Rich Mahog.
Yeah, so, you know, I don't know what he was on. His face was sweating profusely, smiling, grinning, telling people, you know, I wanted to kill this guy, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he thought he was trying to intimidate me, but, you know, the noose is tightening around their necks right now.
Yeah.
That whole entire circle.
But you said it's hip hop. Not everyone is hip hop out there. They're not gonna take it the hip hop way.
It's not about hip hop. It's about one of our hip hop legends being killed.
Yeah.
And the people that we think are his friends.
No, I'm saying
being involved. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
them collaborating with big businessmen to sue the shirt off my back. You know, whoever was funding KO's lawyers as well, all of those people. So like these people were coming from my head and are still coming from my head. Like right now, if I were to die, all of them would be celebrating. You understand what I'm saying? So why would I apologize to niggas that wish me dead? Everybody else might disagree with what I've said, but they don't want me to apologize. They know it's water off a duck's back. But those niggas...
If you were to die, who would be number one suspect?
Those niggas. The niggas that said they wanted me dead. Yeah, they'd be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? So, well, if I were to be killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if I were to miraculously commit suicide, which is something I'd never do.
Okay.
You know?
There's a lot of questions, but because of time, let's take the last one.
Oh. I'll be quick. Let's do quick fire.
Okay. To sign or not to sign as an up-and-coming artist?
Do not sign to any major label. Distribute your music and push. They want to own you. Then they want to use you to train AI. And they're going to replace you with the AI. So do not sign so that you can at least get the lion's share of the money. Like, please, do the hard work. Sometimes it takes 10 years to blow up. Let it take you 10 years. You know, because that 10 years that it takes you to blow up,
what's the formula
that you've got what it takes to
what's
earn
the formula
50
of
years
making
after
it?
you've dead is to never quit and to never stop improving. That's the two things. Don't quit and don't stop improving. That's it. If you keep getting better and better and better and you never quit, you'll make it. That's it. That's guaranteed. Guaranteed. You know?
Some questions. See, who's the hottest cat on the come up right now? Not in general, but within the hip hop space.
I don't know, dog. I don't listen to hip hop, dog. It doesn't say anything. There's no message in the music. It's not building. It's not motivating. You know, it's not encouraging. It's not honest.
I'll put you on to some music with the message.
Another thing is that also a lot of the music that has got a message comes from unaccomplished people. So, like, I've gotten to a stage where I can't listen to a rapper who hasn't achieved anything that I've achieved because it doesn't motivate me. Like I need to be, you know, what motivates you.
You're gonna end up
There's
listening to
nothing- there's
Jay-Z and yeah, alone.
I mean, that's the only thing that motivates me. That's the only thing that I can see. No, that motivates me. You know what I mean? They say stuff that even Drake motivates me. You know what I mean? Even J. Cole motivates me. Kendrick motivates me. There's nothing that's more motivating than having an ex-wife. Number one, you need to make sure that whoever the next nigga is that she ends up with, you're better than him, right?
Okay.
And you also need to make sure that she can never say you fell off. That motivates you in both ways. You need to be better than her, right? And you need to be better than whoever she could ever be with.
Okay.
So you understand that level of motivation?
Yeah.
That's what motivates me, not rappers.
Okay, here's a question. Does he really have a problem with MT?
Of course. Look at MT, dog. I want MT to be clean and sober. I want him to be able to speak like you and I are speaking right now. You understand? You've got a little bit of a stammer, but it's not because you are high or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You're articulate. You can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when someone is talking to you, when a billionaire is talking to you, they're like, okay, fine, I can give this guy $1 million. When a billionaire is talking to MT, he's like, yo, if I give this guy 10,000, he's going to get high as a kite and jump off a building.
That's your problem with him.
That's it.
Somebody's asking, what does the name Nota mean?
None of the above.
None of the above. Oh, Nota. Nice. Didn't know that myself. Drake or Kendrick?
Dog.
It's not. These are not my questions.
J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Yeah, dog. Neither. J. Cole. You know? J. Cole. I don't like how Kendrick throws rocks and hides his hands.
Okay.
That's it.
Drake doesn't even deserve a mention.
Drake, the thing is this, is that, you know, you got to give him credit for how far he took the rap game. You know what I mean? Because after Ye and Jay-Z, who was going to take it further? You know what I mean? He made rap pop. Like fully pop. Whereas Ye was rap's first big crossover artist. That he, as an artist, crossed over into every aspect of lifestyle. And, you know, Drizzy made rap the #1 genre in the globe. And yeah, you know, also he helped bring African music to the fore, you know, by collaborating, even though he did it in a culture vulture way. You know, he opened up those doors.
Pila, this should be our last question. Please ask him whatever happened to the auditions he held on his IG live of artists performing for him when he still had dreadlocks. There's a list of names that he had picked.
Yeah, man. I still have that list of names.
What are you going to do with them?
I mean, you know, that's the thing. Like, I've given up. I think, like, the first time people saw, what's this girl's name? Chema Fassi was on that platform. Then all of a sudden, these record labels now started making her offers and chasing after her. And then I realized that, actually, you know what? I don't mind being famous because, like, I know what it comes with. But I don't want to make people famous because I don't think that everyone has come from, you know, a solid home background so that they can manage and deal with fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just very weird, you know. I can walk to go and buy meat up here, meet up with people, clean, down to earth. I understand that most of the people that I bump into and I meet, they know me, I don't know them, or they know of me.
Yeah.
You know, and I have no idea who they are. But I've been surrounded by people who are well known for so long. I mean, when I was 12 years old, DJ Sbu used to mix TS Records like 2 houses away from me at Chris Lathan's studio. So, you know, that was my neighbor. You know what I mean? I used to go cut my hair with Shoes Show after the 98 World Cup, you know. and with him being a legend when he came back from Turkey in his Porsche Boxster, you know, like Skaratinto was our soccer coach, so he started a soccer club, and then he used to bring all these big PSL players, you know. Obviously, I grew up with Specs as a big brother, so I saw all these guys, Abo Amo and all these things, you know. So famous people never intimidated me or anything of the sort.
Do you think these kids who want to become musicians want to be famous, or
They just want to be famous? That's it. And social media makes it so easy. They just want to be famous. They're not dedicated to the music. You know what I mean? They're not willing to go and sleep on someone's couch in Katlehong and wake up at 4:30 in the morning with everything folded up. No one ever had to complain that they came to the lounge in the morning and found a nigga sleeping on the couch, even though they knew a nigga was sleeping on the couch every single night. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's the type of household I was raised in. You know what I mean? I still hear the sound of my mother screaming at me. I just had my tooth removed. The other day, I called my dad. I told him I'm in extreme pain, you know, because I went to my dad's dentist. And then they gave me the injections to remove the thing. So I drove back, you know, from Northcliffe to Fourways. Long drive. I'm numb. I'm thinking, oh, no biggie.
You're fine.
I'm numb, you know what I mean? They're like, yo, you got to get painkillers. So I just take it lightly. I say, no, let me go nap, and then I'll go get painkillers. Oh, when I wake up, I can't even get into the car. I can't even walk. I call my dad. My dad's like, I know, cool. Send your mother a WhatsApp of the prescription. We'll come and deliver your painkillers and your medication to you. Oh, what did my dad do? He brought his wife. And my mother's screaming in the house. Oh, what's wrong? Hey, why are there dishes in the sink? This is in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then she decides to cook, and then she's screaming at my dad the whole entire time, you know. So, like, my mother is like a nagging woman. Typical Xhosa woman.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Typical Xhosa woman.
Yeah, like, seriously. Like, you know, that's my dad to deal with. I don't really have to deal with her anymore because I'm not in her household. But in her household, trust me, I deal with her. You know what I mean? And I love my mom for everything that she taught me and how strict she was. My mother used to wake us up at 4:30 in the morning if we didn't wash the dishes the night before. And not because she woke up at 4:30 in the morning. No, she would like watch you go to sleep. My bedroom is right next door to my parents' bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Right next door. She see, oh, it's 11. This guy hasn't washed the dishes and he's going to bed now. And then she said, I'm going to wake him up when he's deep in his sleep. At the moment where he's in his deepest sleep, where he's having nice dreams, at 4:30, that's when I'm going to wake him up, just to punish him, you know. So those are the things that my mother used to do, and she used to tell us that, you know, her grandmother was very strict, her grandfather was very strict, and her grandmother was blind as well, like completely blind. But she had a good sense of hearing. She'd throw a shoe and hit you on your head, like directly, even though she couldn't see. So not everyone was raised like that. So meeting people, having people live with me in my own house. I mean, like, Younger used to live with me, Younger Chief. You know what I mean? You know, that's another one. He still owes me all my rent, you know.
Come on.
Seriously, it's 140K. It's not a little money.
Don't put him on blast.
I put him on blast if I want to. It's my money.
Nota.
So I, even with him, it's like, I realized living with this nigga, like, this nigga is not as cleanly as I am. You know what I mean? He's not as neat as I am. You know? I was eating right here in your studios right now. There's not even a speck. There's not even dust on the floor where I was eating. There's no evidence that I was eating there. That's how clean I am. You know, because of how my mother raised me. So
it happens when you move in with people, you discover things
when
you
they
may
move in
not
with
like. Or either.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, even when I moved in with people, I always made sure that I was never an inconvenience. And so making people famous and giving them this spotlight and everything else, you know, you can't predict how they'll behave in the future. Yeah. And also, I just, like, look at my experiences. Like, you've never had TLT come here and say, yo, this guy didn't owe us anything, but he did A, B, C, D, E, and E, F. Yeah. You've never had Makwa come onto any platform and say, yo, this guy, whatever. Makwa will tweet, yo, Samra owes me millions or whatever. Yeah. Who secured you those millions? It's this nigga who made sure that you weren't exploited, who made sure that you were fed. You understand? Yeah. You'll never say, oh, actually, you know what? I used to talk shit about Nota and, you know, I apologize. This nigga made sure that I'm set up for life, that I can feed my kids and everything else. And, yeah, I don't want to have I don't want to have resentment for any more artists than I already have. It's like, nah.
All right, Nota, we're out of time, but this is what I'm going to say to you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to always agree with you. I'm going to come at you on Twitter or wherever in person.
Please.
But I'm saying, like, I acknowledge the role you played within the industry, and I still feel that you are still needed in the industry. So you must contribute one way or the other.
I'm still contributing. It's just on a different level. So never count me out, guys.
Yeah. Don't count yourself out. We want you here. We want you here.
I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm going to be here for a very long time. You know, never count me out. And I'm still contributing. And thank you for, you know, being honest. You know what I mean? Because, like, a lot of people have said a lot of bad things about me to you. And you've always said, yo, me and Nota might argue, but, yo, that's still my dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're still my dude.
Yeah.
We argue all the time. You know, you and your homie, TTP.
Yes.
Have you ever seen me and TTP agreeing with anything?
No.
But when TTP calls me and says, yo, I need you to do something at whatever time, am I there on time or not?
Are you there on time? Sometimes, you know what, people get it confused. When I say, nah, Nota, you're talking shit. Yo, you spoke to him like that.
I know, but they don't know. This is our culture. This is how we are. You know what I mean? TTP is my grot man.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? TTP can come to me at any point in time. You can call me to order. I'll have to bow down. You guys are my grot man. You're my grot man as well.
Yeah.
Understand? And I respect my grot mans.
Sure.
Anytime my grot mans call me and everything else. But when it comes to this hip hop space, we're passionate about it and we defend it vigorously. And we shouldn't be shy. We shouldn't be nursing each other's feelings because that's not where we come from. We come from Horror Cafe. It was called Horror Cafe for a reason.
Yes.
It's scary.
For sure. Nota, like, I'm always going to disagree with you, but I'm giving you your flowers. Shout out to you, man, and thanks for coming.
Thank you for keeping up this platform, and thank you for educating the young ones and building up this platform to what it is, you know. You guys have been consistent over the years. It doesn't even pay you guys, you know, because you still got Back to the City cups. Can you please sponsor them with new cups, guys? You know, we're still supporting Coca-Cola Company with this Valpray water.
Oh, don't mention it.
I mean, come on. Pindi Piri, please.
Hey, yo.
Put the niggas on.
Shout out to Nota. We out. The HNIC Castle.
NI to the Simba niggas dying to live.